You already know how it looks. 5 symbols scrawled on 1,000 chalkboards. E equals mc². It is the most famous equation ever written, but almost no one is ever told what it actually means, or why it is one of the most unsettling ideas in all of science. For most of history, energy and matter seemed like completely separate things. Matter was the stuff you could hold. Energy was what made things move, glow, or burn. Nobody imagined the two were secretly the same thing, wearing different masks. Then came 1905. In a single year, a young patent clerk published 4 papers that broke physics open. Almost as an afterthought, a short follow-up asked a strange question. Does the energy of a body depend on how much it weighs? His thought experiment was simple. Imagine an object that gives off light in 2 directions at once. It loses energy as that light leaves. And when he followed the mathematics carefully, something impossible fell out. The object had also lost a tiny amount of mass. That was the bombshell. Mass and energy are not 2 separate quantities that happen to be related. They are the same thing. Every gram of matter is energy that has been locked away, frozen into a solid, waiting. Weight is just energy at rest. The equation is really an exchange rate. It tells you how much energy you get for a given mass, and the conversion factor is c², the speed of light multiplied by itself. That number is almost unimaginably large. Light travels 300,000 kilometers, about 186,000 miles, every second. Square that, and you get a number with 16 zeros. It means a sliver of matter holds a colossal amount of energy, far more than its size could ever suggest. Here is how huge it is. The matter in a single paperclip, if fully converted to energy, could power a city for hours. The mass in your morning coffee holds the energy of a large bomb. The stuff around you is quietly loaded. So why doesn't everything explode? Because that energy is held under lock. Ordinary chemistry, burning wood, digesting food, only ever touches the faint outer surface of it. To reach the energy bound inside the atom, you have to break far deeper than fire can go. The real energy lives in the nucleus, the tiny core of every atom. Protons and neutrons are held together there by a force of staggering strength. Rearrange them, and a little mass simply vanishes, reappearing as a flood of released energy. For years it was only theory. Then, in 1932, 2 physicists split a lithium atom with a beam of protons and carefully weighed everything before and after. A speck of mass had gone missing, and the energy that came out matched the equation exactly. Einstein was right. There are 2 ways to unlock it. The first is fission. Take a heavy, overstuffed nucleus like uranium and split it in 2. The fragments weigh slightly less than the original. That missing mass leaves as heat and radiation. The second way is the opposite. Take the lightest nuclei like hydrogen and force them to merge. The fused result weighs a touch less than the parts that went in. Again, the lost mass becomes energy, and this path releases even more. This is what the sun does. In its core, hydrogen fuses into helium, and every second it converts about 4 million tons of its own mass directly into sunlight. The warmth on your face is matter that no longer exists, turned into pure energy. The energy made in the sun's core does not escape quickly. A single packet of light can take tens of thousands of years to claw its way to the surface, bouncing the whole way. The sunlight warming you today was born as lost mass long before recorded history. Think about that the next time you stand in the light. Across its lifetime, the sun will shed a mass greater than that of many planets, all of it streaming outward as radiance. Every sunrise is the universe spending matter to make light. And it is not just our sun. Every star you have ever seen is doing the same thing, converting mass into light across the whole sky. The night itself is a record of matter being spent, photon by photon, over billions of years. Equation has an equals sign, and that matters. It runs in both directions. If mass can become energy, then energy can become mass. Pour enough energy into a small enough space, and brand new matter simply appears out of it. We do this on purpose. In particle accelerators, beams are smashed together at nearly light speed, and from the raw collision energy, showers of new particles burst into being. We are watching energy freeze into matter, exactly as the equation promised. It even happens above your head right now. Cosmic rays from deep space slam into the upper atmosphere with such ferocity that their energy condenses into showers of brand new particles, raining down invisibly. Energy becomes matter, constantly in the air you breathe. There is an even purer demonstration. For every particle there is an antiparticle, its mirror twin. When the two meet, they do not break or scatter. They annihilate completely, every bit of their mass flashing into energy with perfect efficiency. Nothing else comes close. Fission releases under 1,000th of the mass as energy. Fusion does a little better, but matter meeting antimatter converts 100%. It is the most concentrated source of energy the laws of physics allow. All of this carried a shadow. The same insight that explains the stars also revealed how to unlock the atom on Earth. Within 40 years, the trickle of energy in that little equation had been turned into the most destructive weapon ever built. The man who started it never built such a thing, and came to regret the door it opened. He had only asked a quiet question about light and weight. The universe answered with both the warmth of every star and a power we are still learning to live beside. But the equation also heals. In a hospital scanner, a patient is given a substance that emits antimatter. Those particles meet ordinary matter inside the body and annihilate, and the light they release is used to map cancer before it can spread. It is happening at small scales constantly. Charge a battery and it gets very slightly heavier. Wind a spring and you have added a whisper of mass. Energy always has weight. We just never notice because the amounts are impossibly tiny. It applies to you too. A warm cup of coffee weighs a hair more than a cold one. A stretched bow holds extra mass in its tension. Energy and weight are inseparable, woven into every object that has ever existed. And here is the final twist. Most of your own weight is not the particles inside you at all. It is the energy of the forces binding them together, racing and straining inside every proton. You are mostly bound energy, pretending to be solid. The solidity you feel is a kind of illusion. Reach out and touch a table, and you are not touching stuff so much as fields of energy pushing back against fields of energy. The hardness of the world is energy holding its shape. Step back far enough and the equation reads like a cosmic accounting rule. Matter can be spent to make energy. Energy can be banked as matter, but the total across the entire universe never changes. Nothing is ever truly created or destroyed. This conversion has run since the very beginning. In the first instance after the Big Bang, the young universe was a furnace of energy condensing into the first particles of matter. Everything solid that exists is energy that cooled and stayed. So the next time you see those 5 symbols, remember what they really say. The stars shine because of them. Your body holds together because of them. And the line between what is solid and what is pure energy was never really a line at all. Matter is just energy that has slowed down and stayed a while. You, the sun, the chair you are sitting in, all of it is frozen light, briefly holding a shape. And one day, like everything else, it will give that energy back to the dark.